This movie is absolutely going for the Terminator 2 with aliens type change, where the first movie is definitely more of a slasher film. This movie looks like it's going to be more of an action film. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is OZD Movie Reviews. My name is On the Brinkat, and today I'm going to review the most anticipated sequel that's coming out right now, and that film is M3GAN 2.0. This movie is directed by, once again, Gerard Johnstone, who directed the first M3GAN, and stars the returning cast from the original M3GAN, from Allison, McGraw, with Ivanna, Sakhno, and Jenna returning as the voice of M3GAN. 2 years after M3GAN's rampage, her creator Jenna resorts to resurrecting her infamous creation in order to take down Amelia, the military-grade weapon who was built by a defense contractor who stole M3GAN's underlying tech. So we got the sequel to one of the biggest surprises, I would say, in horror movies in this decade. I was not expecting the first M3GAN movie to be great. From the trailers, this movie looks like a Chucky ripoff, but literally the movie turned out as a really huge surprise, and I love the first M3GAN. The more times I rewatched the first M3GAN, the more I really enjoyed it. I think it's just like a fresh take on a slasher killer. So of course I was excited for the sequel, and I remember seeing the trailers for M3GAN 2.0 and thinking, man, this movie looks way different than I thought it's going to look. This movie is absolutely going for the Terminator 2 with aliens type change, where the first movie is definitely more of a slasher film. This movie looks like it's going to be more of an action film. It looks like this film is kind of paying tribute to that, so of course I was interested in this movie. This movie looks fun. I love M3GAN as a character. Even though now after watching this film, she's not really much of a horror icon anymore. But still, I'm in for it with M3GAN 2.0. This movie just looks like a turn your brain off fun sequel. I'm not going to this movie expecting this to be as good as the first movie. I just want this movie to be a fun time. And in my opinion, is this movie a fun time? Absolutely. I had a fun time with M3GAN 2.0. Do I think it's as good as the first movie? Absolutely not. But I feel like the first movie does a better job of setting up the characters and also setting up the world that the movie presented. And I think it's a very fresh horror film. This movie is just more popcorn fun, and I'm totally okay with it. And of course, the biggest reason why I think this movie is a lot of fun is because of M3GAN, of course, that is voiced once again by Jenna, which once again is bodied by Amy Donald. I love M3GAN once again in this film. She is quippy, she is badass in this film. Yeah, she is more badass and bigger in every way than the first movie. But you know, she's still a smartass, quippy character that you still know and love from the first movie. And yeah, she throws down in this movie, and she is badass in the film during the action scenes of the film, which we'll get back to that later. But M3GAN, once again, is a fun character and still an icon to me in horror movies still to this day. And of course, after this movie, I cannot wait to see more from M3GAN, because M3GAN is just that freaking likable. And of course, the original cast is returning. Allison once again as Jenna. She does a great job in this film. You can understand her development a lot more in this film. She definitely has a lot of trust issues in the film, and you completely understand that throughout the film, especially after the events of the first M3GAN movie. Ivanna McGraw once again returning as Katie in the film is great in the film. She's not the biggest spotlight in the film like was the first movie, but she's still really good in this film. Some of the original cast from the first movie returning in the film, and I thought they all did a really good job in the film. Also, the villain of this film, Amelia, is a badass in the film. Every time Amelia shows up in the film and she does her badass stuff, she is threatening in this film. I would say her villain arc in this film isn't something original, and definitely her personality in the film is just, you know, an AI robot. But I still think Amelia is very threatening in the film, and of course it kind of ups the stakes for M3GAN to basically try and defeat her. But of course, we all know after seeing the trailers of this film that we are expecting a much different film than the first M3GAN presented. This is definitely more of an action, spy, espionage, fun time, and I gotta say, I like this change. I didn't mind this change. I thought this change absolutely works. This film does still have a couple of horror-ish scenes, but this film is definitely more of an action, spy, espionage film. And you know what? It's a perfect turn your brain off film that just knows exactly what it is. The movie just has fun with this change, and I thought the direction that Gerard Johnstone does with this movie is really well done in the film. Definitely the first M3GAN does a better job when it comes to the emotional development and the characters a lot. It definitely deals with trauma in the film. This film is just like, yeah, let's just make this more of a popcorn summer fun film, and I was completely okay with it. The action scenes in this film are surprisingly really well done in this film. When M3GAN kicks ass in this film, holy shit. There are some fun action to be had with the film, and I thought the cinematography and choreograph, when it comes to the action scenes, it's really well done in this film. It's filmed very well. This film, yes, it's hilarious. There's a lot of great comedic timing in the film. I would say the humor is definitely more strong in this film than the first movie. There is a lot of scenes in M3GAN 2.0 where I was literally killing myself laughing in. It's just because of M3GAN herself. She does a lot of great quips in the film. This film is definitely not as emotional as the first movie. There are some touching scenes in the film, but definitely this film, like I keep saying, it's definitely a much different film than the first M3GAN presented. And it might pull some people away. Probably some people want to see still a slasher version of M3GAN. I can see this movie can be very polarizing for this change. I didn't mind this change, honestly. I think this change absolutely works for me because I went to this movie knowing exactly what I'm going to get, and this movie definitely gives me what I got. It's still a really fun sequel to the first M3GAN. Not as good as the first M3GAN, but still just a fun time, and it's one of the sequels that I would still watch. But definitely this movie has issues, absolutely. It's definitely not as good as the first M3GAN film. First of all, absolutely the plot of this film. There are some plot points in M3GAN 2.0 where I wish they could have explained a lot more. There are a lot of parts in this movie that do not make sense. And that's why, like I said, this is more of a turn your brain off film than the first movie was. So yeah, there are a couple of plot points in M3GAN 2.0 where I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense for me. Also, this movie is predictable. There are a lot of twists in this film where I'm just like, I absolutely saw this coming. Like, literally, one of the characters in the film, I'm like, this character's definitely that. And I saw it coming. So yes, M3GAN 2.0 is not as strong when it comes to the story arc and all that stuff than the first movie. But I would say this movie is more fun than the first movie, if that makes sense. I think the first M3GAN is a much better movie than M3GAN 2.0, but M3GAN 2.0 is just more fun. It's literally a turn your brain off popcorn film that knows exactly what it is, and I thought the genre change pays a really good tribute to movies like Terminator 2 Judgment Day or Aliens. It just does a really good job of saying, you know what? Let's have some fun with some genres, especially when it comes to M3GAN. And I would say the biggest thing, M3GAN is still M3GAN. She is still fun in this film, the character is still there, even though the genre has changed. So overall, guys, M3GAN 2.0 is just a lot of fun. I think it's a fun genre switch movie. This movie is definitely more of an action film than the first M3GAN was. The action scenes are a lot of fun. M3GAN is still an awesome character from the first movie, and she is more badass than ever. Jenna Davis once again performed M3GAN very well, and of course, Amy Donald does a great job as the body double. The rest of the cast is great in the film. The returning cast does a great job in the film. The direction that Gerard Johnstone does in the film is really well done. The story is a little bit convoluted, and there are a couple of plot points that I feel like doesn't make any sense, and there are a lot of predictable aspects to the table. But you're not going to this movie expecting a great story. You're expecting just a fun summer popcorn time. And I think M3GAN 2.0 would definitely do that. It's definitely a step down than the first one, but this is a much different movie than the first one presented. So literally go into M3GAN 2.0 not expecting this movie to be a horror film. It does have horror elements, it definitely does, but this is more of a spy espionage action film that I feel like it completely worked with M3GAN's character in the film, and it just makes the character much more awesome to watch. And of course, hopefully if M3GAN 3.0 comes out, hopefully it's more badass than ever than this movie, because this movie's already badass. So I would absolutely say M3GAN 2.0, definitely go see this film at a matinee price. Definitely a step down from the first M3GAN, but this movie is still a fun enough popcorn, turn your brain off sequel. So yeah, I highly recommend checking this out, but I would say check out F1 just a lot more. So guys, that is my review for M3GAN 2.0. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like this movie, hate this movie, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.